What's up, Trail Gangstas? Welcome to another episode of This Week in Arizona Running. I know the title can be a little misleading because these are coming out every 2 weeks. Let me know, do you think I should be dropping these every single week? What do you think of the format? I'd love to hear your feedback, but we're going to get straight into things because the trail, ultra, and also the track and road scene was really exciting the past couple weeks. The main event on the trail side of things, I'd say, would be the 120K at Chianti by UTMB, with the competition really leveling up last minute. While there weren't too many Arizona athletes that I could see in the mix, at least up top, we got a preview of the Cocodona 250 rematch that we're all excited for. Courtney Dauwalter won in a thrilling comeback fashion, winning the race in a time of 11:31. The person she's going to face off with, Rachel Entrekin, she ran 11:38 for third place. And then I got to shout out Lauren Puritz, who is a member of the Aravaipa racing team for Colorado. She snagged a golden ticket as it rolled down to 5th place, bringing it back to the United States at the big Alta 50K in Marin County, California. Part-time Arizona residents Aaron Moyer and Heather Jackson showed up big. Aaron rounded out the podium in third with a time of 4:17, and Heather Jackson held her own in 6th place against the youngsters with a time of 4:47. At the Chuckanut 50K in Washington, Eric Hamill of Flagstaff finished 5th place in 3:45 against a ridiculous field where the top 17 men were all under 4 hours. This was a nice follow-up to his top 10 finish at the Black Canyon 50K just last month. And at the 3 days of Silamo down in Arkansas, Peter Mortimer, also a Flagstaff resident, took 2nd place in the 94-miler in a time of 17 hours and 44 minutes, just about a half hour behind the winner. In FKT news, Sarah June just set the supported fastest known time on the Maricopa Loop, which basically circumnavigates the entire Phoenix metro area. We're talking over 240 miles, more than 14,000 feet of elevation gain in just over 3 days. Now I want to go back a couple weekends to the Mesquite Canyon trail runs. Looks like in the 50-mile, no Arizona runners were able to capture the overall win, but Alex Russell of Phoenix took 2nd for the men with a time of 9:27, and Sarah Dasher of Tucson took 2nd for the women with a time of 12:07. Now the 50K winners did indeed hail from Arizona. On the men's side, Cody McKesson took 1st. He's from Sedona, and he ran a time of 4:32. Rolanda Jumbo of Flagstaff ran 6:33 to win for the women. And then I'll put up on here some of the other top finishers in the 30K and half marathon. Nice job, everyone. Up in Santa Barbara, Flagstaff's Danny Griffith took on the brutal 9 Trails 35-miler, finishing 24th overall in a time of 8:42. Switching gears to the track scene, we had the World Indoor Track Championships going down in Poland, and Nikki Hiltz grabbed another bronze medal in the 1500 meters. They ran a personal best of 3:59 and change. Just again, continuing an incredible tear and sets them up really well for this outdoor track season. At the New York City Half Marathon, the pro athletes from Arizona held it down against an international field. On the men's side, Adrian Viltscoot of NAZ Elite broke away from the field late to take the win in 59 minutes and 30 seconds on a really tough hilly course. Rory Linkletter was 7th with a time of 1 hour on the nose. On the women's side, Sharon Lokiti couldn't quite defend her title from last year, settling for 2nd in a still impressive 1:07.10. Then we had Emily Sisson, Callie Thackeray, and Steph Bruce also cracking the top 20 there. Back here in Arizona, the Mountain to Fountain races brought the speed so fast, in fact, that I can't even make my own highlights here. On the men's side for the 15K, Milo Grider won in a time of 43 minutes and 39 seconds, which was a course record. On the women's side, Amy Hoagland won, sneaking under 55 minutes, which is super fast. I'm also going to put the 5K podiums up here on the screen so you can see that. If you're familiar with this event, you may know there's a team division where you form teams of 4 or more, and you can end up winning a lot of beer, which is what happened for my team, the Distance of Sightfuls. We won the open men's division, getting a ton of beer. They bring you on stage and then weigh one of your team members to see how many cases you get. These were provided by Roses by the Stairs, cold beer on a hot day. Gotta love it. This would be the section of the show where I make some corrections or additional shout outs. A few weeks ago, I missed that Bree Grigsby had won the Sierra Vista Trail Runs in New Mexico. She won the half marathon there in a time of 1:40, and she's having a really stellar racing season so far. She's a member of the Air Viper racing team and lives down in Tucson. So congrats, Bree. My friend and Flagstaff native Austin Horn just completed an epic run and through hike through Costa Rica, tackling the El Camino de Costa Rica, a 174-mile route that goes from the Caribbean Sea to the Pacific Ocean. You gotta check out his Strava for some of these epic photos of the scenery and just crazy accounts. Looked like it was a really fun time. Now, if you follow my personal account or Trail Gangstas, you may have seen that I took part in the Black Canyon Donkey Derby. This was the third year I've done the race. They've been doing it for 6 years. It's an incredible event. You do actually run with a donkey. Sometimes you're leading it, sometimes it's leading you, sometimes you're just stopped on the side of the trail. So it's basically like an ultra marathon. Regardless, you're gonna be surrounded by the cutest asses you've ever seen. I highly recommend doing burro racing. In fact, the next one happening in Arizona is the Tombstone Desert Donkey Dash on April 18th. And if you don't have a donkey, don't worry, you can rent one. Finally, going very local, if you're a Flagstaff runner, you may know there's a new fence blocking access between Buffalo Park and Lockett Ranch, which is a key connector for a lot of runners who want to do some cool trail gravel routes. It's kind of annoying. Apparently, the HOA for Lockett Ranch says it wasn't them. They say it was put up by the city of Flagstaff. Either way, I've run by that section of the loop a couple times, and at one point it seemed like there was part of the fence taken down or a gap. I haven't been there in about a week, so I'm not sure what the status is. So if you want to comment on that situation or know anything about it, or know more than me at least, please comment below. Anyway, thanks for tuning in for another episode, and we'll see you in another week or two. Peace, guys.